Greenscreen. It's one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal as a filmmaker, but it's also really difficult. I'm working on my latest short film, which is a folklore-inspired tale about two brothers lost alone in the ocean that encounter a supernatural force beyond their control. And one of the crucial scenes of the film is two brothers in a boat. However, I'm a student filmmaker. I don't have access to getting into a boat, going into a real sea. It's way too dangerous. So I need to do it in green screen. The only problem is, I've never done it before. In this video, I'm going to be figuring out how to make your green screen shots the best they can possibly be. Should you shoot inside or outside? However, no one ever makes a short film on their own, and right now, I'm alone. So I need to go and figure out my team. So I'm going to go on a little walk and see if I find my team. First things first, I'm looking for a cinematographer. But, you know, Brighton's large, it's vast. They could be anywhere, but, oh, hang on. That guy looks good. Hi, mate. Excuse me.
Tell me you see it.
What?
The light. The way the shade falls off into the gentle, bold light that illuminates the cars with a stunning frenzy of specular highlights. I don't know what to do.
Have you ever heard of a camera? You know, like something you can record that with?
What?
I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Wait, what?
Hello. What are you reading?
Hello, Giovanni's room. I'm trying to adapt it into a screenplay, actually.
Would you like to adapt my screenplay? Great, so all we need now is a producer.
I can produce things. Please let me produce things. I love producing things.
Honestly, mate, I think we're good on this one.
But I produce so much. Look at my collection of things that I produce.
Do you live here? This is just a set collection of bins.
Don't ask me that question, that's rude.
Okay, what? So you want to produce my film?
Yes.
Okay, sure, why not?
Let me get my things.
Sorry guys, I'm just really bad at saying no.
Let's go.
You never could sneak up on me, partner, could you?
How long's it been? 2 years?
Not long enough. Last time I worked with you, 2 people died.
Mate, they were actors, they were in a film, it wasn't real.
That sort of role doesn't leave you.
Paranormal Protection Service was a long time. This time it will be different, I promise. Come back.
It's not gonna happen. I'm out of the game.
This time you're not going to be acting. You're going to be assistant directing.
I'm in.
Good man. Now that my team's been assembled, let's head over and figure out what green screen technique is the best. Joe and I have a bit of a disagreement here. I think green screen works better when it's actually outside in natural light. However, that does come with a bit of risks.
I felt that we could maybe come up with a better and more consistent result shooting in a studio using studio lighting.
I think the major risk for shooting in natural light is going to be controlling that light. I think, say it's a really lovely overcast day on the first day, it's great, probably don't even need to diffuse the light, can make some mild modifications, awesome, that it's the same luminance value as the overcast day we had production delays because we're waiting for the sun to go back in the clouds. It's diffused, but it's not quite the same.
Well, what do you think, Jasper?
I went into this firmly believing that I was so right, and I was actually, I'm not going to lie, way too cocky about the whole thing. It's going to be fine. It's going to be absolutely fine. It's so hard for even the massive Hollywood films to make daylight look real in a studio when you don't have daylight. I'd rather have something that looks good and isn't consistent than something that's just consistently rubbish.
Rough. Doing some script editing.
No, but it's like, theoretically,
it's going all right.
I'll find some kind of thing for Lewis to be at sea on. Could you be at sea on this?
Today, I will be the model for the shoot, which will be quite fun. So I will be a fisherman. Give me that plane.
Oh my, yeah. You're actually so true. Let's do that.
I'm so true.
That's going to be so much funnier if you're like this.
I'm so true.
Boat. So out here, obviously there are some issues. It's a bit chilly, a bit nippy, it's only going to get colder. And it's windy. So far, there's no advantages to being outside, except for the fact that there's no lighting needed, just one camera, and a green screen. Let's see how we do.
It's quite nice. I don't have to help with this. As long as you've got a bag and a camera, you're pretty much set.
I think I was too preoccupied with the novelty of making something good out of something that took so little time, that I didn't actually spend any time on good direction, good camera angles, or even kind of shaping the natural light I had at my disposal. Lewis is going to stand here with this bit of wood, and then that's it.
I realise I'm probably just going to come across as really, like, strange.
What are really strange?
Yeah, but I don't want them to know that.
I've got some yellow tape because we're going to want a handheld camera, and what you want to do is add some tracking markers. And the reason why I'm doing an X is because it adds a perfect dot or a single point that the software can go on. Okay. Just stand there, and I want you to kind of scan the horizon. No, not like in a cartoon. And add a bit of sway.
I'm struggling to picture what it's going to look like.
Over. A storm is brewing in the distance.
You look so weird, Lewis.
He's going terribly. Directors don't know what he's doing, so bodes well for me.
That is a wrap on Pagan, guys.
If I don't win this challenge, I'm going to be really upset, because he did that in about 10 minutes.
Everyone else is doubting me, saying it's all too quick, but I think efficiency is the way to do this, and I think this took 20 minutes to set up and film. Now I guarantee you, Joe's not going to start filming for at least an hour.
This is the indoor green screen shoot.
5 hours.
Not just physical. 3x3 is going to help us kind of create a realistic and diffused kind of sunlight.
Bye.
This, of course, is taking much longer to set up, but to be honest, I'm not worried about that.
Love that you look for.
If this takes 3 hours to set up and the results are amazing, then I'll be convinced, but if not, Joe. Once we finished with the lighting, we put Lewis in the boat, where his native accent was revealed.
Are you comfy?
Very comfortable.
Joe's done a pretty good job, I will admit, matching a kind of overcast day. Right now, I don't think this is looking like it's real daylight, but that could just be my brain tricking me, because obviously we're not in real daylight.
I really struggled to create the natural fall off that natural light has because of the literal height of the studio. We couldn't get the source, i.e. the diffusion, far enough above his head to create like a realistic fall off. So the highlights are really intense on his forehead, but then it quickly kind of drops off the further down his face you look.
We had an unexpected visit from Dan, who was, of course, very well accustomed to being on camera. Do you think this looks like daylight? Like a foggy day?
Quite a bit of contrast, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is probably fine for what you're going for, but I think outdoors, it is more flat, isn't it? Like, there's light everywhere, but it looks nice.
F2.8 at MD 1/6 stops. And Lou, could I get you to do some frantic movement with your body to test some motion blur?
Now, when it came to doing the actual shot, I had to direct it, which I did in my very own unique style. And then you hear a noise, a squawk. Could be a seagull. A single seagull flies above. Yeah, 3 hours, 45 minutes.
Okay. It's not awful for doing a lot of testing.
Yeah, no.
Like a lot of testing.
I'm not going to lie, I got very tired and fed up. We spent nearly 5 hours in that studio setting these things up, and the results were looking amazing. So, we did our green screen shoot. What are we thinking? How do you feel, Joe? Okay, here is the result of the My Natural Light version.
Ooh. I like the moss in the boat.
But you did really well keying out that plank of wood. That plank of wood just disappears. I do believe he's in a boat.
Yeah.
That looked decent.
The boat is actually a 3D model, so you're just a 2D card in a 3D scene, and you're kind of bobbing up and down like that. And this is Joe's.
Damn. Wow. That was so much shorter than yours.
Yeah.
Couldn't be us to render the whole thing out.
How many hours of work did you put into your shot versus mine?
There was a difference.
I think I like the movement.
Yeah.
The movement that's present in it. It makes it feel slightly more immersive. I think the fact that we still see his inner shelf is strange.
Yeah. I really like the contrast, because obviously the background you've placed there is going into darkness where the shade on my back is going, and I think that actually does work, although I'm sure it seems probably too stylized and maybe not completely realistic.
Luckily, because I'm doing it all in Blender, I was able to kind of match that in the ocean. So I
Yeah.
added, you can see it's completely unrealistic, but I added in this massive light on one side of the scene. So one side of the ocean is so much brighter than the other. That's not realistic. You wouldn't get that ever unless there was some very interesting cloud work going on.
I think it sells and it works, maybe, but only briefly. Like, to maintain this look for an entire scene. So we need to figure out a way to kind of combine both your strategy and my strategy.
3, 2, 1, vote. Oh, Dylan! My lovely man, thank you very much. But even I didn't vote for me. Yeah, unfortunately Joe did win, which I wasn't thrilled about. But luckily, I came up with another idea, which meant that Joe's winning meant absolutely nothing. One night, I came up with the most incredible solution to our problem. And that solution was a polytunnel. A polytunnel is a big space used for growing vegetables. But the great thing about it is that it diffuses all natural light. And I messaged Joe, and immediately he was sold with the idea.
I couldn't quite believe he'd only just thought about it as being an option. We just invested like 2-3 weeks of our time into trying other ways, and then he miraculously remembered the very thing me and him had spoken about really wanting to have.
With our solution in hand, we went all the way to Norfolk, and we shot in our polytunnel, and we used the natural light. However, it was technically inside. We shaped the light very beautifully with some floppy flags, and we even accentuated the sunlight using the Nanolite 720B. If you'd like to know exactly how I did my green screen techniques, I'll go into that in a future video. This one was very much kind of just, here are the results. I know this is a really weird and unexpected ending to the YouTube video, but that's kind of how life is. Life doesn't fit into a YouTube format. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you keep following on with our series. We've got so much fun stuff coming your way very soon. So please keep looking out for our videos, and thank you very much. Pagan signing off. Great.